project we're going to be getting after with the reboot of the channel is this 5.3 LS or LM7, whatever you want to call it, truck motor that I bought a few months ago. I actually went and picked it up in my Fit, which was a hilarious ordeal to get home, but I got it home. So it's a 5.3 LS, it's out of a Silverado. Supposedly it's good. Obviously you can see from some of the B-roll clips, we're not sure about that. It was pulled out with oil pressure sender. It was covered in oil when I bought it, and I have seen that happen on LS's or V8 Chevys that I work on at work. So I brought it home. I tore the whole motor down. I mean, if you follow me on some other social medias like TikTok or whatever, I think I was uploading videos of it on there. So, you know, I tore the cylinder heads off, all the accessories. I mean, the accessories, obviously, like the engine was sitting, they were all just dirty and grimy and covered in grease and oil. Tore the cylinder heads off. They're over there. They didn't look that bad, but they were just filled with sludge. I mean, it was like ridiculous. I've never seen this much sludge in an engine. So it just happened to fit. I picked this up just kind of as like a side project, but of course, like everything else, I never got it done. But it was kind of supposed to be a long-term project. I kind of want to put it in like a G-body, like maybe like a Cutlass or a Monty or a Malibu or something. My friend John's helping me out a lot with this. We're gonna try to do, or I was gonna try to do like a really low budget, like rowdy, like cam nitrous, probably carbureted it, because like I think it'd be cool to run it on a stand. So yeah, we tore everything off of it. Nothing was too rough. Everything was just covered in so much sludge. I mean, it looked like the oil had never been changed in this motor ever. And there is a little spot in, I think it's cylinder 8, it would be bottom of the bore, where it's like a little gross and kind of pitted. But for how much money I'm into this engine, I think we're just gonna run it and see if it fucking explodes. Like maybe it'll be like a funny budget build. So I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but these rocker arms are just full. The rockers were full of sludge, like the little fucking, I don't know what they're called, but Cummins doesn't have it, so whatever. Just covered in sludge. I mean, everything was like the pickup. This pan is the grossest pan I've ever seen in my life. Like I don't even think I'll reuse the pan because I don't even know how I would clean the bottom of the pan out. But tearing it down, easy. LS's are easy. I mean, you could probably see some of the sludge, like look, it's just crazy. It's like an inch thick. I got some parts laying around from ICT Billet, some other OEM GM parts. Box, I do have a Holley intake. I know it's gonna be hard to see, but I have a Holley intake for a carburetor. But the person I bought it off of said it was cathedral port, and it's actually square port. So if you don't know, that's like LS3 stuff. He had this intake bolted on to a cathedral port head. So that kind of sucks. I'm still in between if I'm gonna try to get the right intake. Oh, tripping over stuff. I'm still in between if I'm gonna get the right intake, or they sell adapters to run square port to cathedral port, which seems stupid, or just do what that guy did and bolt it on the cathedral port heads and see what happens with it. Obviously be replacing the timing set and all, doing some springs and stuff on the heads, some springs, whatever, just to compensate for the cam. I'm gonna try to build it as cheap as possible. I feel like a lot of budget builds immediately like turn not budget because like their boy owns a machine shop or something, and they're like, oh yeah, then like I got the heads done, like it was cheap. I'm like, well, that's not really budget. That's not really what this channel's about. I feel like we've been doing stuff like a little shitty for like the entirety of the channel, and I think it'd be cool to see like if this will just explode immediately, or will it go fast in something, like will it never, we can run it on a stand. I did get this baller engine stand when I bought the motor because I went to Harbor Freight, and of course the cheaper ones were sold out, so the only option was a $400 engine stand. So let me spin it over and we'll look at the bottom end. So yeah, there's a better look at the rotating assembly and obviously the lower end. And you could just see the sludge. I mean, like, it was honestly unbelievable. I'm wondering if this will just explode if it ever runs again. But I mean, there's no play. Like, the bearings all feel good. Didn't get any play. I mean, it's a pretty textbook 5.3. Really nothing special about it. Iron block, aluminum heads. I forget what heads they are. So they're 862 castings. The bottom end looks like okay, so I don't think we're gonna let the magic out. I think we'll just run it like this, see what happens. Dude, like this is so nuts. Look at this sludge. Like that's insane. But the lifters looked fine, and that's a problem for LS motors, obviously. And the cam looked fine that came out of it. The stock cam looked fine, so that's a good sign. Motor turns over pretty good, all smooth. It is a 5.3, and the way you know that, obviously, I'm not sure what fan base is watching this. Either you know something or you don't about LS's, and Just to preface this, I'm no LS master. My friend John's helping me a bunch with this whole thing. So drop a follow, shout out to John. I'll put his Instagram here or something. He's helping me a bunch with this. Dish pistons are 5.3. If there are flat tops in it, it would be a 4.8. Even though the casting is always going to say 4.8 or 5.3, I don't think there's any other way to tell if it's a 4.8 or a 5.3 other than like measuring the stroke and all, other than the pistons. So you'd have to take the cylinder heads off to tell. I think we're going to gamble and not replace the cam bearing, so I'm sure it'll blow up because of that. But we will do like maintenance stuff like the seals and all. Like I said, new timing set, new pickup, all that stuff, like all new gaskets and seals, new bolts where it needs it. But we're going to try to keep this cheap because everybody's always saying the LS is the cheapest way to make power, and we're going to see if that works, if it even starts ever again. To figure out some way to degrease it. I mean, like the trays, they're just like, it's just so insane. It's so sludgy. I've never seen something like it, and I work on diesels all day long. We're going to have to figure out a way to clean it up. That'll obviously be a video. We're going to change the springs and all ourselves. I mean, I cleaned up the deck surface with like a little Rolock finger wheel brush thing. I don't know. Hopefully it's not fucked. Whatever. Clean the heads up. I have one here. One's at work because I put it in the parts cleaner there. We'll change the springs and all ourselves. And like I said, I'm going to try to be as transparent as I can. I've already like made a list of all the money I've spent on this build, and we'll see if it's actually cheap to do. These motors in general are just getting more and more expensive to buy. I got this one. Hold on, I could actually pull it up on my phone. I bought the engine and it didn't have an intake on it or anything, but it had all the accessories and motor mounts and stuff for 400 bucks. I had to buy an engine plate to put it on the hoist. So that's one that just bolts to the valley cover, but like you don't need that. It just made it way easier, but it bolts onto the valley cover so you can hook your engine hoist up to it. That was 35 bucks on Amazon. I got a new valley cover that I believe came with the gasket. I'm not sure. New valley cover and a new oil barbell, which goes in the back of the engine. When we get to changing that, obviously you'll see that. And that was 82 bucks. They're from ICT Billet. I'm not going to include the price of this engine stand because it was fucking expensive as shit, and it's completely unnecessary to hold up a 5.3. Like I said, they just didn't have a regular one in stock, so I had to buy this one basically because this was in the back of my Fit and it was fucking hilarious. But yeah, I'm super stoked on this actually. Like I said, I've been working behind the scenes on some stuff to like reboot the channel, I guess you could say. I think this will be a really cool like ongoing project just to keep in the back, just constantly working on it and buying stuff for it and just keeping it budget. I think it's gonna be a lot of like marketplace searching and all that. So I've been uploading every Sunday, short or long form. I'm gonna keep that up hopefully until the new year, and then I can do long form content on Sundays and then like shorts whenever. I don't really care that much about short form stuff. I know we've been gaining some subscribers the past couple weeks, so I want to say thanks for subscribing and welcome to the channel. So yeah, just keep an eye out and we'll get back to this, and we'll see you on the next video.